Hello fabulous friends and fans, welcome to this special series video that I am calling Vedic Astrology and Western Astrology Part 2. Now, I did actually make a video around this, and it was a video that came from questions from friends and fans just like yourself, and I'm truly so grateful for your interactions. I love communicating with you guys on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website nadiyashah.com. And I do have a list, as I've been saying in the weekly horoscopes. I am keeping a list, so when you have any astrology questions, if I'm not able to answer them in the immediacy right there online quickly, then I'm putting them on a list so that I can actually make these videos for you that answer some questions, give you my perspective on different things, whether it's technical or philosophical. And so Kiran asked about Vedic astrology and Western astrology. And as I said, I do have a video. This is one of the most popular questions I'm asked. Why is it that I practice Western astrology? What is the difference between Vedic astrology and Western astrology? So I would encourage you to watch that. I'm sure there's a link somewhere here on your screen right now, so you may want to have a look at that. But actually, Kiran messaged back and said, I watched that. However, I still am feeling very confused, because how is it possible that you can see the planets in different places in the sky? How is it possible to calculate the position of the planets in different places? And so essentially what that question is how is it possible to have a different world view? And asking that question really comes down to, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this, it is the equivalent of asking, how is it possible that we have different ways to pray? How is it possible that we have different ways to meditate? How is it possible we have different forms of yoga? And the reason is because ultimately, astrology is a deeply spiritual practice. It's a practice with its roots very deep in religion. All the main religions of the world have had their hand in the development of astrology. And it's actually a very recent historical phenomenon in the context of human history. It's only been a little over 200 years with the discovery of Uranus that led to the Cartesian split that separated astrology from mainstream religions. But ultimately, astrology has been developed by priests, and as such, it was understood as a practice in divination. It was understood as a spiritual practice. And so when I'm asked, how is this possible? I mean, I really think, how is it possible that we have so many different ways of understanding God or love or creation? How is it possible that we have all these different ways of perceiving the world and the truth and the relevance of all that is? And I know this gets very meta. And so I actually do have another video online. I did a talk at SOTA conference, and a lot of you know I love the SOTA conference. I try to get there every year. It's in the fall in Niagara Falls, USA, and it's put on by the very fabulous Donna Van Toen. And I did a talk there a couple of years ago, and it's actually posted on my page as well. Again, there should be a link somewhere on the screen, and it's called A Fast and Furious History of Astrology. And this is where I actually break it down as to how this disconnect happened, the scientific revolution, which was the Cartesian split, and how astrology sort of found its place in the New Age movement, was able to still speak to people and be what cultures needed it to be, thanks to the New Age movement towards the end of the 19th century, and then later as part of psychology as well. So that is all out there. Again, I know that these questions sort of have their considerations. It's part of a philosophical orientation, which I think a lot of astrologers have. If you are interested in astrology, then chances are you have sort of a mind or a disposition to actually want to consider your life in a grander sense. I think it's really important as astrologers that we not say that one system of astrology or one form of calculation is right, because to me that is really the equivalent of saying one form of prayer is right and one is wrong, one form of meditation is right, another is wrong, or even one form of religion is right and another is wrong. We're human beings. I don't think it's fair to say that and to speak to someone else's spiritual journey. Ultimately, if you are an astrologer or even a student of astrology, you will be called through your intuition to systems and techniques and inspirations and teachers and books, all in alignment with your learning, as part of your own learning in self-knowledge, and as part of you knowing what you need to, so that your practice becomes what it needs to, so that you can serve the people who are going to be presented to you as part of the mystery. And so I say, trust your path. Don't think that one is more than another, one is more correct than another, because ultimately the astrology community is small, and to be an astrologer means that you have to have a tremendous amount of self-trust. And if there is anything that we really need in the world, I really believe, is more unity. And in the astrological community especially, we're here to lift each other. And so whatever your techniques are, share them, of course, develop them, of course, and at the same time, respect other people's journey to have that as well. Ultimately, astrology is about connecting with the divine within you and allowing that to shine forth through this practice. Well, thank you so much again for your questions. I love hearing from you guys. I love interacting with you guys so much. If you have a question, you want to reach out, you want to feedback, anything, feel free to comment on this video in YouTube or Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course, my website, nadiyashah.com. I'm truly so grateful for this moment with you. Until we connect again, take care.